It's Border Crossings with Larry London from VOA1.
Hi there. Welcome to the program. Border Crossings is live from Studio 4 in downtown D.C. And on today's show, we have a very special guest in our studios. It's not often we get to welcome a rock and roll Hall of Famer. Today, we are blessed to have Calvin Simon in our studios. Calvin, a member of one of the most prolific and successful funk bands of the 70s, Parliament Funkadelic. He's here. He's got a new CD. We're going to talk to Calvin Simon about his life and his battles and how he ended up being so happy these days, given all the things he's faced. Calvin is here. Stand by. He'll be joining us on Border Crossings. We're going to check out a song from his new CD, and the song is called Needing Someone. Here's Calvin Simon as we begin today's Border Crossings program. I'm Larry London. Stay tuned.
As a sinner hang dying on the cross, he turned to Jesus so that his soul would not be lost. He said, remember me when you get to your kingdom. Jesus, please remember me. I'd like to let you know what it is on my mind. You look surprised, but it's the little things that Jesus do to help you follow right on through. Help me follow through. Someone, feeling someone needing me. I need Jesus in my life. His love could save a sinner like me. Save a sinner like me. Whoa, I needed someone. I need someone. Feeling someone needing me. Someone needing Jesus in my life. I need Jesus in my life. Like a morning needs a sunrise. I need Jesus in my life.
Border Crossings, Calvin Simon and Needing Someone. Calvin is here with us today, and it is an honor and a pleasure to welcome you to the Voice of America.
Thank you, and good morning, America, wherever you are, and wherever you have been. Thank you very much for listening to my music all of those years, and I'm so glad that I have a new one to give you to listen to as well.
And the new CD is now, it's called It's Not Too Late.
It's not too late.
It's not too late for what?
It's not too late now, but it will be one day.
Now, one of the things that I admire about you, and there are so many, there's just a long list, and this is on that list. You are class. You are so classy, and you guys were classy back in the 70s as Parliament. And, you know, you're wearing a suit today. He's got a 3-piece suit on. He came in with the hat, the feathers shorter. The feathers got shorter.
It's been decreased a little bit.
Because, gosh, you guys had the feathers going back in the George Clinton days. You guys had the feathers going. But, you know, and you're looking so dapper and classy. And that's what you've always represented. And you still do that today. When you see today's artists, and they're wearing hoodies and sweatshirts and T-shirts and shorts, and how does that make you feel? Because you guys set the standard, and the kids today aren't following that standard.
Well, you know, the standard that we set at that time is it was all dependent on how you were raised. And this is the way I was raised. Although sometimes your job required you to wear costumes and different things of that nature. But I've always felt like any person should be able to wear whatever they're comfortable with.
Right.
If you're comfortable with it, roll with it.
That's right.
And I always say fried, dyed, and laid to the side.
Well, they don't dress like Bootsy anymore. That's
No.
Nobody
Boots is a one of a kind.
Well, I'm happy that Calvin is here, and I grew up listening to that music. And to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, when did that come about? You know, how did that make you feel when you found out about it? Because it isn't easy. People get nominated over and over and over, and they just had the ceremony last weekend for the newest members. But, you know, you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You have to realize that in order to even qualify for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you have to be together 25 years as the original guys. Number two, you got to make a significant contribution to music. And not only did we do that, but we created a whole new category.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you guys, you contemporized funk.
Yes.
You made it popular. You made it cool, you know, to be into funk music in the era that it was in the 70s.
Funk is cool.
It is cool.
Because you got to remember what the first 4 letters are. You know, the first 3 is F-U-N, fun.
That's it.
You got to remember
the
that.
Fun and funk.
That's
I like
it.
that. I like that. So, you know, you've been through some tough times. We talked about that. You know, I talked about that a little bit. And there have been some very, very, you're talking to a guy who's a true warrior. You know, you had thyroid disease. I have thyroid disease.
Yes. I had thyroid cancer.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
I did not. Well, you know, God bless you. You're still here. You're going strong and feeling good, because that's
feeling
a tough
good,
battle.
Feel great. When you think about it, and you think about all the things you've had to go through, like Vietnam, I've had a heart attack, I've had cancer, you know, to survive all of these things. And I just think it was there as a platform for me to be able to say, here I am.
Right.
Look what can happen for you, the same that happened for me. Because you can come through each situation.
Mm-hmm. And you found God.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you found God.
Yes.
And so that is kind of what has put you on the right path, or put you on a better path, and that's been your savior.
It has put me on a path that I can't even begin to describe in words, but it's a matter of how I feel about it and how I feel about the association I personally have with it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's up to every individual. However they're, whatever God they wanted to serve, that's up to them. But I serve one that I am very proud to be a part of the family.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about writing an autobiography?
I've had several offers, and I've thought about it because there's a lot that people just don't know.
Sure.
And you need to be able to tell them in detail so they can fully understand it and understand the paper trail from the beginning to the end. And I'm thinking about it. I'm seriously considering it now.
Well, that would be fantastic, because there's, as you mentioned, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people,
they don't know.
They have no idea.
No.
And I'm sure you got so many stories.
Well, some of the stories will never be told.
That's right.
But, you know, you have people out in front, and they give you their story and their side of the story. But there's always, if you look in the story, there's always a beginning. And when you can get back to that beginning and follow the paper trail all the way up, then you know you got something.
And Calvin Simon was there at the beginning, just when the funk sound was born. And you mentioned that you fought in Vietnam. You're a veteran. Thank you for your service. You've got a song that you wrote and was inspired by your connection to the military.
Well, I wrote this song for my fellow vets that's coming back from the Middle East, because I want them to realize that they are not alone. I went through it. Several of us went through it. But I wanted to write a song about it to let them know that somebody else went through it and made it through the other side. Mm-hmm. Because I think one of the things when you're 100% disability vet like myself, and what people don't realize is once you've had to kill a person, there's a certain amount of adrenaline that goes, and it's fear too, because it's all intertwined, and it does some crazy things to you. And it's like a drug, because you find yourself waking up in the morning and you got that urge, you want to hurt somebody, it takes years to learn how to keep that genie in the bottle. So I wrote this song to let the vets know there is room on the other side, and you can make it.
All right, we're going to check the song out. Calvin Simon from his album It's Not Too Late, and this is called A Soldier's Story.
America, soldier's story. Once upon a time, I was one of you, fighting the wars for the red, white, and blue. But I was depending on Jesus to carry me through. Some of you may not understand why a soldier leaves his family to fight in a foreign land. But in the name of freedom and democracy, there could be no retreat. We have to fight an enemy sometimes we just can't see. All the faces in the crowd look the same as they stare back at me. And a suicide bomber has no charm. A soldier lost his leg, and an innocent child lost her arm. To he who has fallen, we salute and say goodbye, while another man steps to the gun to hear the battle cry. Once upon a time, I was one of you, fighting the war for the red, white, and blue. But I was depending on Jesus to carry me through. When war is all around you and your life is at will, two soldiers face each other with the power to kill. Put your faith in Jesus to carry you through. Each war reveals its battles in so many ways. These soldiers to duty with honor we display. We seek salvation from His Spirit and guidance from His hand. Don't let the devil steal your soul before you reach the promised land. To he who has fallen, we salute and say goodbye, while another man steps to the gun to hear the battle cry. Cry as we look to the sky and wonder why one soldier lives and the other one dies. Only the Lord knows why. He has the answer. You have a friend and his name is Jesus. All you have to do is open up your heart and let him in. He has the answer.
You've got Border Crossings, and we've got Calvin Simon. And that is a song that he's got out called A Soldier's Story, very near and dear to his heart, and a song written about the soldiers who fought in the Middle East.
In Vietnam. And well, mine was about Vietnam, but it's for the soldiers in the Middle East that's coming home.
And you, in your experience in Vietnam, you came back with something which is talked about here in the United States. Now, for the benefit of our international audience, it's called post-traumatic stress disorder. Mm-hmm. What exactly is that? Because I know there's been a lot of attention given to that here in the U.S., but internationally, people, there's a lot of countries that go to war, and they just kind of hide these things.
Well, that was the problem. When we came home with it, they didn't really know how to deal with it because we had never been into a situation of that nature. We had never fought a conventional war like that. There was no front line. That was one of the first wars that we had that wasn't a front line. You could be walking right next to someone, and you don't know who the enemy is because everybody looks the same, although one of them or some of them are trying to kill you. And when you have to do that and one of you have to die, then the memory of what you did, especially if you got any kind of spiritual beliefs to thou shalt not kill. But if you have to survive, you're doing it for a reason. We don't always understand our reason because there was a time many moons ago when this was first born, I didn't have nothing to do with that. That was decided.
Right.
It wasn't me.
Right.
But I have to deal. It's all about the choices that you make as you proceed through life.
And I'm sure, not only the fact that you were in a war and you're killing people, and that'll obviously leave a scar or an effect on your brain,
absolutely,
forever. But you watch your brothers die also in battle. Your friends.
That was the hard part of Vietnam because you could be walking through on a search and destroy mission with one of your brothers, and he's walking right beside you. 2 seconds later,
he's gone.
He's gone.
Right.
And you have to witness that, and sometimes you feel his blood pop on you. I mean, it's just a lot of different things with the mind of what you have to do when you are a soldier. But, hey, I was a soldier, and it was my duty to fulfill whatever orders came down.
So that, obviously, the Vietnam War was in the 60s. So then the band, Parliament, came about when you got back.
No, it came out about before I went.
Oh,
because we recorded a song called I Want to Testify, and I Can Feel the Ice Melting. But I signed a contract with Revelot Records. The song I Want to Testify came out after
huge.
I went to Vietnam.
That was a huge
song.
So
while I'm in Vietnam fighting with an M16, Chris Noel out of California is playing I Want to Testify to Sergeant Simon and Hope You Get Home Soon. So when I came home after being in that battle like that, then we were already like number one.
So how did you handle that? Because you left and you were there was a little bit of anonymity, and you come back and you're a superstar. And you got to deal with healing. You got all the healing.
First of all, crowds drove me nuts, because I had to deal with a whole lot of different things. Because you had gotten used to carrying a 45 every day.
Right.
You had the M16 that you slept
The sense of
with.
security.
It's all you had.
It's gone.
So all of a sudden, after a year and a half of doing that, they take that away, give you an aspirin and a Band-Aid and say, okay, go live a normal life.
Right.
And that's kind of hard to do. And our first show that I did when I came home was at Copa Hall in Detroit. And here you got all these, we did the show, and crowds just was driving me nuts because my mind wasn't really ready for that. People jumping on the limousine.
Wow.
And I didn't, and at that time, I didn't know whether to reach for the 45 or not because you look for your
And
security.
it wasn't there anyway.
And it wasn't.
You're reaching for it.
Well, sometimes it was.
Well, I grew up in Detroit, so Cobo Hall's near and dear to my heart. I know there's 20, 30,000 seats, so just put it in perspective for people. But Parliament, Funkadelic, obviously left a lasting mark on the history of music and such a positive influence. You guys were you were showmen, because we talked about that. It wasn't just a concert, it was an experience. And you arrived in the mothership, which you're going to go see today.
Absolutely.
And that's at the Smithsonian?
Yes, it is.
And
I can't wait to see it, because when you think about that, we was having so much fun. And we wanted people during that time because, people were getting hurt in the streets from the riots. And we wanted people to come down concerts, and for those 2 hours, We didn't want them to think about nothing else but having a good time. And you never heard about all that crazy stuff happening at our concerts. You know, you didn't hear no shooting and fighting. And
Right.
People was too busy having fun.
They knew how to behave.
You know, and people trying to get dates and everything else. I mean, you know, everybody's trying to be cool.
Now, you told me that you were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by Prince. What an honor that must have been.
That was quite an honor. That was in May of 1997.
Wow.
And Prince and his wife introduced. I went in with Michael Jackson, the Bee Gees, and us.
Wow.
And the Young Rascals.
Wow. What a class.
Oh, it was quite an evening.
My goodness.
Quite an evening.
Well, the new album is out. It's available now, iTunes and Apple and wherever
all
you
of
get CDs. And it's called It's Not Too Late. And it's never too late. And we're so happy that you're still making music because you have fought the good fight and survived, and having heart surgery and a heart attack, and our thoughts and prayers to you and sympathies to you. I know you lost your wife. It wasn't recently, but you were married to her for a long time.
Yeah, we were married 44 years, and 4 years ago she died of bone cancer, and but her work on earth was done. So it was time for her to go, and apparently I still got a lot to do. So he's still got plans for me, so I'm just trying to be a good soldier and fight a good fight.
Now, that's a perfect lead into the next song, Jesus is a Friend of Mine.
Yes, sir.
And so obviously Jesus has been a friend of yours, and he's been there when you've been down. He's been there when you've been up. And so we're going to play this next song.
I appreciate it.
All right. Here is Calvin Simon on Border Crossings, Jesus is a Friend of Mine.
Jesus is a friend of mine. I can call him up and talk to him anytime.
He means the world to me.
And right by his side is where I want to be. Some say a friend is one who shares both bright and gloomy days.
Someone who will make you happy.
By the thought of friendly ways. Someone with whom you can discuss all the little things that you plan.
Just keep silent.
Knowing he will always understand.
His promises were like sunshine that brightens up my very day.
I want to thank you, Father.
But just like April showers, they're supposed to bring me flowers.
He washed all my sins away. Jesus is a friend of mine. I can call him up and talk to him anytime.
He means the world to me.
And right by his side is where I want to be. I have a 24-hour relationship with Jesus Christ. I seek him in everything that I do, and I trust him with things that I don't understand. I wake up every morning, and suddenly my face breaks out in smile to greet the day.
From the light within that shines within.
Gives me the strength to face what comes my way. In you, I found a new song to sing, and what life really means. Today the rain fell on the road, and forever will our love grow.
His promises were like sunshine that brightens up my very day.
I want to thank you, Father.
But just like April showers, they're supposed to bring me flowers.
He washed all my troubles away.
Border Crossings. And that's a song called Jesus is a Friend of Mine from Calvin Simon's new album, It's Not Too Late. He found God in about 2004, I guess it was, around 2004, with your first gospel album, Share the News. And you're a happy man these days.
I'm a very happy man, and so glad to be able to be here to extend what I'm thinking about and what God has done for me. And it's been quite a journey.
Yes.
And it's still continuing.
Yes.
You know, so I'm just here to do the things that I have to do and to be a good soldier so I can fight a good fight. But I want to say one thing. During my career, it's no joke, everybody know that it was a drug situation involved, and I was able to make it through all of that. But I want to tell you here and now, the drug that I'm on right now, Jesus Christ, can't beat it.
That's
it's all
right.
natural.
That's right. It's just, I mean, again, going back to what we said earlier, not knowing really what it's like in the business, you had everything thrown at you.
I mean, with the
women
business.
and money and drugs, and it's all just there.
It's all there. And I mean, it's an abundance of everything. And you always got everybody want to bring you this and bring you that. You got managers, you got record companies. They want to make sure you got this, you got that. But in the end, when the lights go down and the limousines are gone, the bodyguards are gone, then you have to realize who the man is.
Yes.
And stick to that.
Now, you also have a great hobby, golf.
Oh.
That's a nice hobby to go out and kind of escape reality for a while. And you happen to be a very, very good golfer.
Well, there's been times when I was better, but the knees are not what they used to be.
Right.
So things have changed. But golf, tennis, I mean, in 81, 82, and 83 amateur, I was the tennis champion in Toronto, Canada.
Wow.
So I've always been, and even when we was out on the road, we was into karate and tennis and, because our show was like 3 hours long. You got to be fit to be
Right.
up there. You just can't be up there messing around.
No.
And it was full of action all the time, all the way through. And when the mothership landed, everybody knew when the mothership landed.
You had to be in good shape because those big hats were big. I mean, to wear those big hats like that, those
Your
hats were
neck
big.
muscles got to be good.
Calvin Simon is on our program, and just listening to the music on the new CD, you got a great band behind you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the sax and all that. You got a great rhythm section.
Love it.
And so,
And these are some of the guys that were with me earlier, but now they've changed their ways, and they just see, G note is a G note,
yes.
but it's the message you put on top of the note which makes the difference.
And what about touring? Are you doing a lot of touring?
That's getting ready to get lined up. This CD is starting to get to play now, and promoters and all that get together.
Yes,
then
yes.
they set up the tours. I would love to go out and tour with this band. This is one band I would love to go out and tour with. It's such a good, happy feeling band.
Right.
Oh, man. Sanctified funk is what you call it.
Sanctified funk. I like that. So what's been the highlight for you in your career, in your music career? What would you say, because you have experienced so many things, that could you find a moment that you'd say, wow, this was it?
The moment is right now.
Right now.
Being able to do what I'm doing and still be able to do it after all of these years, and then to have cancer, heart attacks, all that stuff, not play for 10 years or sing for 10 years, and then come back and do a CD like this, that's the greatest thing I could ever think of at this point.
Now, can I ask you how old you are?
74 young.
Wow. He does not look 74. For those that can't see, you look great. You really look great.
Thank you very much.
Forget that you've been through so much. You look great.
Thank you.
It's unbelievable. And you sound great. I really like the sound. And I hope you will write that book, because I can't wait to read those stories.
Well, I'm thinking very seriously about it, because there's some stories that needs to be told.
And you're the teller. We want to hear those
I
stories.
can only speak the truth.
We're talking with the legendary Calvin Simon of the Parliaments Funkadelic from the 70s. And we've got one more song to play off your new album, It's Not Too Late. The new song is called Sorrow Street.
Yes.
What's the story behind that?
The story behind that, there's a place called Hades. There's a heaven and a hell, as far as I'm concerned. And hell is not where I want to go. I don't want to go where the rest of the people are going. So he sent his son here to take care of us. So because of his promise, which I've accepted, and he has accepted me into his family, that's where I want to spend my eternity.
All right. It is the legend himself, Calvin Simon, and Sorrow Street.
There is a place for the rest of your life. That's where you will burn. Out of nowhere, Jesus came into my life and took away my pain. I have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. I don't want to be in that place with the rest. Who have landed there? Who have landed there? There's no paradise once you lost the winning game. Oh. Whoa. You have your own self to blame if you land there. So I say to you about the days to come. Have no fear, 'cause you are under the protection of the Holy One. But if you don't give up and you don't give in, you will be rewarded in the end from Him who was and who is to come. He is the ruler of this earth. He's called the Holy One. But my ears were not listening to what others had to say. Nobody knows just where to go. When it moves away from you, I want to eat at the table of life in paradise with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He is called the Holy One. I don't want to go with the rest. No, no. I don't want one soul to be lost. There's no paradise once you lost the winning game. Oh. Whoa. You have your own self to blame if you land there.
Border Crossings and Sorrow Street. Calvin Simon off It's Not Too Late, his brand new album. And Calvin said back when he was with Parliament in the day, and even now today with his band, it's a party.
It's a party.
It's a party.
It's a party going on.
And the way they do it today is a little different. Everybody's in their own world.
It's a Holy Ghost party now.
doing their own thing. But when you guys were on stage and you are on stage, it's a family. It's a collective effort. It's a combination. It's a thing.
Everybody's on the one.
That's right. Number one. Well, we've got Calvin in our studios for just a couple more minutes, and hopefully you'll be going on a worldwide tour.
That's the plan.
And I know this is your first interview in a long time, so thank you for doing this.
It's my pleasure.
And we've had a good time.
Great time.
We've had a good laugh, and we talked about some things off air that will keep them off air. But you'll have to get the book so you can find out and read all about it. But, the tour, when is the tour going to begin? When are you putting the band together and you're going to go on the
band
road?
is together right now. By the way, I want to give a shout-out to them. They're in Akron and Windsor, Ontario right now. But we're in
Is
the
it
process.
Original P? Is that what they're called?
Original P, but this is going to be the Simon Says Band now.
The Simon Says Band. I love it. That's great. And so the tour.
The tour, all that's going to happen, that's been in the process right now.
Okay, website. People want to find you and buy your CD and check your schedule out?
They can find out all of that. Just go to calvinsimon.com and go to any of the outlets where they sell music. You'll find me there.
All right.
And it's not too late.
Never too late. And you're off to the Smithsonian to see the mothership, and then you're going to visit D.C. a little while. And then what's the rest of the month for you?
It's quite busy. I got to do the Christian Television Network next week.
Mm-hmm.
A very important thing is going to happen today. It's been 4 to 6 years since I had told myself that I would never go see the monument of the Vietnam vets, but I'm going to take today and give my respects to my fallen brothers, to let them know I'm putting all that anger and stuff aside, and I'm going to give them their proper send-off.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. Well, God bless you, and I thank you so much for coming on our show. And
Appreciate
for being our guest here today, and again, Calvin Simon, you can search him on the internet and read all about him of the days with Parliament and the current album that's out now, which called "It's Not Too Late." And we're going to play a song, one of the bigger hits from Parliament. You had so many of them. And what do you remember most when you think about being with Parliament in the day in the 70s? Do you have a memory of that time that really makes you smile?
There was a memory of that time when we realized that we were accomplishing the dreams that we set out to do when we were, kids. But when that mothership would land, brother, it would do something to your insides that you couldn't even believe. It's just something magical about it.
Well, here he is. This is one of the fathers of funk, Calvin Simon, and one of the big hits from Parliament. This is called Flashlight. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
This is Border Crossings.
Border Crossings with Larry London on VOA1.